Welcome back to the channel, guys. Owner Arna's here, and today I want to talk about something serious. This is pretty niche, okay? And I want to start with, this is for someone who's young, very driven, okay? Makes money, probably with an online business, just like me, and, believes in themselves, are young, and make a bunch of money, okay? And when I say a bunch of money, I don't mean 10K a month. Maybe I mean more than that. So I want to talk about why you shouldn't listen to traditional investment advice if you're in this position, okay? Because you hear about rather than running your business, or like when you make your business, invest like 80% into S&P 500, let it grow, blah blah blah. Yeah, I want to talk about that. I think that's BS. I don't believe in that. That only works if you have a stable 9-to-5 job, you're working at a company, you want to become a millionaire by the age of 60. This is perfect for you, okay? And it's hard to argue with. Like, this works, okay? But I want to talk about why you shouldn't do that if you're a young entrepreneur, just like me, making money online, making more, like 10 times more money than an average person, or even more. So let's jump into it. First of all, why am I talking about this, right? So if you're a young entrepreneur and, in a matter of 5, 8 years, whatever, you manage to grow a business, which makes like, I don't know, $500,000, $1 million, $200,000 a year, okay? You're in the top 1% of people who are like risk takers. I'm out there, I'm fighting for my business, I'm doing this, and so on and so forth. So if you're in that position, that means you're not an average Joe, okay? Like, you have exponential growth in your business, you have a talent, you have a way better understanding than most people of a business, right? And also, you're an entrepreneur. And what does a word entrepreneur mean? It means that you're taking a higher than average risk in a business to make more money than an average person, right? So you took a bunch of risk, which is great, to make a bunch of money. And you have a way, way higher potential to make more money in just reinvesting and risking it in your business, okay? So if you make a bunch of cash, why not reinvest that cash into, for example, like you're running, I don't know, let's say you're running an online business, let's say a coaching business, and organically you're making 100K a month. Why not take that money and reinvest into ads, and instead of making 7% return, 8% return per year on 100K, invest that into ads, and worst case scenario, get like 2x ROAS, okay, per month. Like, right? That's how business works, okay? Another thing is, like, you can do that, invest into ads and all of that, and that's cool. You're reinvesting money. You see, if you would have reinvested 100K into S&P 500 and keep it safe, which is like false sense of safety, right? Cool, you can do that, but then it locks up your capital. So if something comes up, maybe you can buy a company out there for pretty cheap. Maybe there's a business opportunity. Maybe a coach you always wanted to hire, you can hire them now, but you need capital, and you lack capital. It just locks up your money and freezes your funds. And you see, entrepreneurs have like a competitive advantage over everyone, okay? So you're not an average Joe who's like, oh, I'm scared of risk, I'm scared to do this, I'm scared to... No, like, you're ready to go all in. You're already all in if you got to that point. So you have a competitive advantage over other people, and reinvesting money into your business will make you way more money than just investing. Another thing, I think everyone talks about this, but like, knowledge is the biggest investment you can make, and compounding knowledge like is way stronger than compound interest, right? Because if you gain the knowledge, let's say you're making 100K a month, and you gain the knowledge on how to make 500K a month, like, how much is that investment worth? Even if you hire the coach or a consultant for 50K a year, like, that's still incredible. That's still worth it. And 50K a year invested into S&P will turn into 55K after a year. You know, that's it's all about the knowledge, right? The knowledge you have and the attention you have if you're online. Um, you know, you can also control the outcome. So when you're investing in S&P 500, for example, you don't know what a board member in one of these Fortune 500 companies will say in their quarterly meeting and what decisions they will make, right? You don't know what the Fed is going to do. Are they going to raise the percentage? Are they going to lower the interest rate percentage and stuff like that? You don't know any of that. You're not in control. But when you're run your own business and you have your own business, you're fully in control. You can you may be ready to spend 100K on ads, and after spending 10K you see it's not working. You can stop that. You're in control. So you're actually more risk averse here than investing into S&P 500, because in S&P 500 you have no control at all. With your own business, you have all the control in the world. You see the numbers, you're controlling that, and you're investing into something you already know and that's already making you money, right? So keep that in mind. Traditional investments, even if you invest in stocks, crypto, well, not as much, but traditional investments, they seem to be risk-free for most people, which is what's the risk of not taking the risk, right, in your business? So you might be very traditionally versed when it comes to investments, stack your cash into an S&P 500 and have this sense of safety, but then you're not investing in your business, right? So what's the risk you're taking of not investing in your business? Because maybe, just maybe, if you reinvested all that capital into your business, back into your business somehow, and just, took home 20%, 10%, what if that business goes 10x over the next 2 years? What's the risk of not taking the risk? I want to ask you that, okay? Another thing is when you're reinvesting the money in your business, you're building an asset, right? You're building an asset that's sellable. You're building a business. So you're not just reinvesting money to make back the money in revenue, but you're building an actual business asset. I had an opportunity to sell my company to a media conglomerate. I didn't take the offer, but that just proved me, hey, all the money I reinvested, all the team members I hired, all the SOPs we created, and all the money we spent on, ads to grow our newsletter and stuff like that, it didn't go just back to me in terms of, hey, I'm making back the revenue. It went back to me as well in appreciation of my company, right? So I was building equity without realizing it, and a lot of people don't realize it. They're like, well, I'm making this and this amount of money. My business is worth nothing because it's online and tied to my personal brand. No, you can still sell that business, just with a few changes, right? So those are pretty much, the points I wanted to go through. The last one, which is not talked about at all, and I kind of pulled the trigger on it and realized very recently, but traditional advice of hey, invest here, invest there, doesn't consider the power of networking. Okay, so networking is extremely important here. Me myself, I actually, today is Monday, on Friday I invested $3,500 to join this network, just a global network. There's no outcome. It's just a network, right? A network of cool dudes who are making a bunch of money online and traveling the world. I invested into that mastermind, and you might think, well, invested into S&P 500, that $3,500 could have turned into $4,000 maybe on a good year, right? Which is true. But I believe that in 1 year from now, just by joining this network, I'll make 10 times more money, because I'm now connected with the top dogs in the internet space. Okay, I'm a part of this network. I'm a part of this community. I can go anywhere around the world, meet a person who's doing business, and get some advice from them, because they're running the same business as I do, similar business. get advice from them, apply that advice in my business, and like literally made back the money in one day. Okay. So networking is extremely powerful as well, and when you're investing in traditional investments, you're not using your network at all. You're using access to financial markets that everyone has, you know? So when you use your personal network, you're using something different. You have an unfair advantage here. So those are the reasons essentially that's why I think you shouldn't invest. Well, maybe some money you want to invest in crypto and diversify and buy some real estate in cash. By the way, like real estate in cash, I think that's a great investment. Buy some real estate in cash. Why would you take out a mortgage if you're making like 50 grand like a month? Makes no sense. Just buy it in cash. Don't pay the mortgage. Like, have a sense of freedom. You own that house. You can go to that house anytime, like for the rest of your life. How cool is that? That's my opinion. If you disagree with me, that's awesome. I'd love to hear your opinion. And leave the comment down below if you disagree, or if you agree, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to talk, DM me on Instagram at owner Arna. Just DM me and we'll have a chat, and I'll see you in the next one.